issue. You might be excluding your loved ones this holiday and you ain't even know it. But don't worry, I got you covered. By the end of this episode, you're gonna have all the tools you need to make sure that everyone feels included, from the youngest to the oldest. So keep watching and learn how to fix this immediately. But before we get into all of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos where I talk about Asian inclusion and share tips that can enhance your aging experience. Now let's get to it. Now before we fix this issue, let's talk about how we might unintentionally be excluding our loved ones. For example, maybe every year the same family member is doing all the cooking, the hosting, and the cleaning up. Or perhaps the younger generations are being sidelined when it comes to planning, with their ideas being dismissed as unimportant or impractical. These small actions can send big messages that someone's voice, presence, or contribution doesn't matter as much as someone else's. And I know you don't want that. And think about traditions. Are we assuming that certain roles like carving the turkey, giving the toast are only for adults? Or are we so focused on trending ideas that we miss the chance to honor the wisdom and experiences of our older generations? These habits may not seem like a big deal, but over time they build walls instead of bridges in our families. And that's the opposite of what holidays should be about. Which brings us to why Asian inclusion matters, especially within our families. You see, families thrive when everyone is included. Intergenerational connection is not just some buzzword, it's the secret sauce to stronger bonds. Asian inclusion helps us learn from each other's unique perspectives and celebrate the richness of diversity in our family, as well as create memories that everyone treasures. I mean, imagine the stories you'd miss out on if older relatives didn't feel comfortable enough to share. And if your family is anything like mine, them stories are good. But imagine the fun and energy you lose without creativity from everyone coming together. So as you see, Asian inclusion helps us create a holiday experience where everyone gets a seat at the table, literally and figuratively. So I know you probably like, okay, Christina, you told us the issue. You talked about why it's important. How do we fix this? How do we turn our kitchens, living rooms, and traditions into a space of unity instead of exclusion? Let's break it down. The first way is get input from all ages. So when planning the holiday meal or activities, ask younger family members and older ones their ideas. You'd be amazed at how much of a greater experience it will be if you got input from everyone. Trust me on that. Next, share responsibilities. Like I mentioned earlier, instead of placing the burden on one generation, divide them responsibilities. For example, let the younger kids help with setting the table, or let them prepare a dish, or measure the sugar that's gonna go in the yams. Yams sounds so good right now. Let me focus. So just like you get input from everyone, all of that input should then be divided where it's all hands on deck. And I get it, because sometimes it's like, well, nah, Auntie her food, when she prepares the macaroni and the green beans, can't nobody do it like her. Or Uncle, can't nobody fry a turkey like he do. We don't want to miss out on that, and I get it. And I ain't saying change it, but maybe allow another relative to add their pizzazz to it, or observe. Or you get what I'm saying? Let's not just always do what we've always done. We gotta switch it up every now and then. And I get it, especially in the Black families. The potato salad, the collard greens, and the macaroni and cheese are very important dishes. And we can't just let anybody prepare those, okay? But allowing another relative to prepare or come up with a game that everyone is going to play or everyone can play can also be a way of sharing the responsibilities. The third way, create space for connection, which means make time for intergenerational activities. I get it. After we done ate, we kind of all like spread out a little bit. You know, the cousins go on their walk, right? Or disappear. The aunties are doing their things. The uncles might be in the room watching the game or whatever. That's all cool. But make sure there is a time where everyone comes together, and whether it's having like a little storytelling session, baking some cookies, or playing a game, make sure there is time where everyone is coming together. Here's a little personal example from my family this past Thanksgiving. We played the game Heads Up, which is like charades, right? And it's funny because at first we started off with 2 teams, but after a while we was like, who cares? Anyone come up here and play, and we're gonna help you guess what's on this screen, right? But it was a great time, and everyone of different ages participated and felt included. And that's the goal, to create moments where age doesn't matter, connection does. These moments don't just create joy, they strengthen the bond between generations. So here's the bottom line. The holidays are about coming together as a family, and that includes everyone from the youngest to the oldest. No one should be left out of the fun, and we should celebrate what each generation brings to the table. So next time you're in the kitchen or planning activities, take a moment to think, how can I include the young ones and the OGs in this? Now share your favorite family traditions or your own age-inclusive tips in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you make everyone feel included. And don't forget to hit subscribe and share this with a homie that needs a little holiday inspo. Now I'm gonna see you back here next week, where I'm gonna be sharing 5 new traditions you should try this holiday season. You don't wanna miss it, alright? In the meantime, in between time, you be blessed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.